Hello everybody, welcome. Today we're going to visit the king and the queen of asana practice, that is. Headstand and shoulder stand. Now headstand is considered the king of asanas and shoulder stand is like the queen or the mother of asanas. Together they really build the cornerstone of a steady, ongoing yoga practice. The benefit of these inversions is far too many to go over right now in this short video, but I will list them in the description. For now, let's get started. We're going to introduce them slowly and gently, and let's see how far we get. You're going to need your mat, a wall, and 3 blankets to get started. Start by folding your blanket very neatly. So you'll fold it in half and then in half again. And place the side that doesn't have a fringe towards you. If you don't have a blanket, you can fold your mat as well. Or if you have quite a thick mat, you may not even have to fold it. Now, we're going to go over what part of the head we'll place on the floor, which is going to be the crown of the head. Now, where is that and how to find it? It is really the highest part of the head. So if you run your fingers from the top of your forehead towards the back of the head, you'll see that it goes up and then it drops back down. So right before it drops down is the very top of your head, and that's the part of the head that we place on the floor for headstand. It is further back than many realize. But this correct placement really helps to get the balance with a little bit less effort. Now, let me show you how to cross your fingers properly for Sirsasana 1, Headstand 1. Cross your fingers all the way to the webbing, and when you place the hands down, don't close the palms towards each other. Make space because that is where the back of your head will go. I tell my students, pretend you have like a cup, grandma's finest china. You don't want to break it with your hands. So when you place your hands, you want to look down. You want to press down through your wrist. You don't want your hands to collapse this way or that. You want to keep your wrists straight up and down. You can have the thumbs, the tips of your thumbs, just touch. Then take care that your elbows line up directly to your shoulders. Oftentimes in the beginning, the elbows go wide, and that doesn't protect your neck. So bring the elbows directly and look with your eyes to really place them under your shoulders. Press down through your forearm bones. Another thing that's worth checking is that you're really on that sharp edge of your forearm bones. You can run your fingers, you can feel it right here. So that part of the forearm needs to press down. Finally, we're going to place the head down. We're going to tuck the head towards the back of the hands. And we're going to pause right there and just take a breath. Then, pressing our forearms down, we can lift our knees up and walk our feet towards our head. Now, right here is where you want to work on lifting your shoulders very high up, away from your ears. That will keep your neck long and protected, and it is worth practicing right here without even bothering to take your feet up. And then you'll come back down, take a breath, and change the cross of the fingers. We're going to do this one more time. Placing the hands, crossing the fingers, elbows directly lining up to the shoulders, forearms pressing, top of the head down, back of the head tucked into the back of the hands, and then lifting the knees up and walking in. You want to be able to really lift your shoulders up and draw your back in. So in the beginning, again, the tendency is for the back to round and you see how the back tends to fall out, see if you can activate your middle upper back and draw it in. And now we'll come back down again and take a moment's rest. So that could be as far as you go today, and practice this for a few days, even a few weeks, till you feel like you're building the strength and you're feeling comfortable with that sensation of having your head on the floor lower than your hips. Now, if you want to go forward, we can place our blankets near to the wall. Again, the fringe edge should be near to the wall so that the neat edge is facing you. And like before, we're going to place our arms, cross our fingers, and place the head down. Walking in, lifting the hips up, and try to move the back away from the wall and strongly lifting the shoulders. If you're comfortable here, lift one leg up and reach it up very, very high. Try and keep both legs straight here. Then you can bring that leg down. You can take a moment's rest and then go back up and try with your other leg. Reach up with the top leg, lengthen from the thigh all the way to the knee to the toes, and then bring the leg down. Take a moment's rest. You can take child pose and take a few breaths. And then finally, let's try and see if we can take the legs up. Once more, crossing the fingers, elbows lined up to the shoulders. Really watch the base here. And then lift the knees up and walk in. Draw your middle upper back away from the wall. Lift your shoulders. Take one leg up, reach it up as high as you can, and then lift it up and move it towards the wall. You may have to feel like you're taking a little leap of faith right there. And then as your top leg goes up, you'll bring your other leg up and get the heels to touch the wall. If you can balance, you can keep your heels against the wall, but I want you to very quickly start to take your buttocks off of the wall. Try to keep your middle upper back engaged, moving in. And even if you want to keep your heels on the wall, reach them up the wall and draw your tailbone in away from the wall. Take a few breaths. Lift your shoulders up, press your forearms down to do so. Let your eyes look straight ahead. And then to come down, bring one leg down and then your other leg. And there you did it. Rest in child pose. This is how we can get started and practice this way. Visit the pose daily for 10 seconds, 15 seconds, 30 seconds until you start to feel comfortable and you can lengthen the time in the pose. If you've done headstand, we might as well follow with shoulder stand, the queen of all poses. Headstand should always be followed with shoulder stand because they really complete one another. And where headstand is heating, shoulder stand is cooling. So they balance each other out. You're going to need your 3 blankets, your mat, and it's really helpful to have some extra blankets, pillows, maybe a bolster to help you get into the pose. Now we're going to line up the blankets very neatly so that the fringe edges again point away from us. And we're going to rest on top of the blankets. So pay attention that you keep your shoulders on your blankets and your head down. You can measure with your thumbs. So from the edge of the blanket to the top of your shoulders, it's about a thumb's length away. Bend your legs and roll your shoulders under. And then with that support under your hips, you're getting a lift there to help you to throw and swing the legs up and over and quickly hold your back and lengthen your legs up into shoulder stand. What's really important here is to learn to lift the thighs up and to walk the hands down your back so that you're not sitting on your hands. You want to learn to get to the very top of your shoulders. Make sure to check out my video for the preparation for shoulder stand. It's a wonderful way to learn to use the wall to get into this pose. It's perfect for beginners. Now here, as you walk your hands down your back towards your shoulder blades, you're coaxing the back up. You keep lifting the front of your thighs up and you draw your tailbone in. Don't push your head hard into the floor. Don't grip your neck. Soften your jaw, soften your neck, and relax your face. Let your eyes look towards your heart. That is something that I remind my students to do so over and over again because it softens into the neck and lets the breath to flow a little easier. After a few breaths, you can bring the legs gently towards your head side, let go of your back, and roll out of the pose. Rest there with your legs bent. Take a few breaths. And that's it. You've done shoulder stand. Turn to your side and gently come up. Happy practicing, and feel free to write me anytime in the comments with questions. I would love to hear from you. Remember, neither of these poses should be done if you have glaucoma. Namaste.